Awesome.
Thank you, everybody. I've lost my remote, so I'm going to use my phone for presentation. Okay, so we are a 3D printing ally. We are a very small, very dedicated 3D printing bureau here in Prairie. We're not connected to Stratasys in any way. We use some of their equipment and materials. That's the only connection we have. I doubt they even know we exist. But our tagline is, we're not just another printing bureau. We're committed to partnering up with our customers to find the best design, process, material to fit their needs. And we live by that. A lot of companies they hear about 3D printing, they don't understand how it can really fit in their business, and they need somebody to just kind of come in and show them what's possible, and then let them figure out where that fits their needs in their company. We can't just go in and tell them, hey, you need to change that, make it 3D printed, that needs to be 3D printed. We need to kind of educate and get people involved and get them thinking about it. We're a small team. Myself, I run day-to-day operations at the location. Doug Depper is my business partner. He's got a ton of experience in small businesses, so I'm really helpful and glad to have him on board. And then Harrison and Brett, both industrial designers that work for us. They do a lot from quoting to production and everything from end to end. We're a small team, so we wear a lot of hats. We all do all the jobs, so it's really nice to have them like that. And our ownership group is really comprised of a lot of different people from within the industry, corporate people, small business executives. So we got a really good combination of people. All right, so for those that don't know, we're going to define 3D printing for you real quick. Basically, it's anything you can lay down in layers, in successive layers, to make it an object. It could be any number of different types of materials. Basically, it's going to be a powder, a liquid, or a solid. It could be powdered plastic, it could be powdered metal, it could be gypsum powder, could be solid plastic, could be chocolate, could be concrete. Anything you can lay down in layers and build up a part is considered 3D printing. It's known by a few different names. Direct digital manufacturing is we're taking that digital file and we're creating a physical product out of it. Rapid prototyping, that's how it really started, was in prototyping, so it was tagline rapid prototyping. But additive manufacturing, if you hear additive manufacturing, that's really the key term going forward, because we're adding material only where it's needed. And that's the way it's going to be specified in ASTM specs moving forward. So what do we offer? We're like a machine shop with 3D printers. We don't do a lot of design work. We just basically bring in the files, specify, the customers a lot of times specify what material they want, and we just make parts and ship them. That's really the key to our business. We have 3 different technologies in-house: SLA, SLS, and FDM. For our size company, that's a little bit unheard of. A lot of companies like to specialize in one or another, but we want to be diverse. And then among those, we have 7 materials to choose from, and that's just what we have in-house. We have a really good partner network that has a lot of different materials and machines to offer, so we can pretty much fill anybody's need in the 3D printing space, but that's what we have in-house. Engineering support for single part or large projects. The large projects are what I really like. My background's a manufacturing engineer, so that's what I like spending my time doing, designing fixtures, figuring out how 3D printing can fit. So we definitely do a lot of that. We do some secondary operations, painting, sanding. We actually outsource a lot of that to some of our partners. We're not real good at it, but we want to be able to offer it, so it's definitely there if needed. A little bit of CAD design, trying to get away from that somewhat, because that's not as value add as just printing and shipping. So, short run production and education on 3D printing. The short run production is getting more and more. People need a certain number of parts that just can't invest in the tooling up front. So it's really fun to get involved in some of those projects and make a lot of parts. So the types of jobs that we do. The first one is a custom job, be like a large assembly. A lot of the museum people do. It's a large animal. We get the file in, figure out how it's going to be split, so there's a lot of upfront time involved before we even start printing. A standard job is basically they send in a part, they tell us exactly what they need, we print it, we ship it. That's the quickest and most profitable type of job we do. And then production, I'm trying to get a system set up where certain customers can just feed their parts into our production system and they just get put in line. A little bit of verification up front, but not a whole lot. And that'll save us a lot of time and money up front, and I'll be able to offer better pricing to some of our bigger customers. So our biggest challenge is the education part of it. It's tough. It takes a long time to get some of these people convinced that 3D printing is really the way to go on some of this stuff. And we've been doing it for almost 5 years now. We're seeing customers we talked to 2-3 years ago finally coming around. So I mean, it's a very long sales cycle on some of this stuff. Our marketing, our large competitors. So our suppliers are also our competitors. Stratasys 3D Systems, they also own their own service bureaus. They have huge marketing budgets. So out-marketing them just isn't going to happen. So we need to find new ways to let current users of 3D printing know we exist. Basically, somehow interrupt that flow of customers to their businesses. Building IT infrastructure to support in-house production. We're about 75% complete on that. We had somebody build some apps on top of Zoho, tied into our CRM, and everything's working really well. And it's feeding that information to our shop so that they know exactly what to build and when. We've still got to do the shipping part of it, the invoicing part of it, but right now it's working really well. And then finding rainmakers. Rainmakers are what we call somebody like inside of Boston Scientific or Medtronic that just floods us with work, and then when we support them and do a good job for them, they tell friends, and we get integrated with big companies and then spread the word basically. So what do we need? We need contacts. Like I said, we can't really out-market our competitors, so we need to find those people inside those big companies, small companies. A lot of these designers just don't get out much. They don't spend a lot of time networking or anything, so it's hard to find those people. And if you try to cold call, they basically, there's the person up front doesn't even know who does the 3D printing or who would make that decision. So if you have any contacts of product designers, engineers, anything like that, especially in med tech in this town, that'd be helpful. Project managers, anybody. We're doing projects with construction companies right now where they're actually printing out the proposed project so they can present it to the customer, and it gives them an extra wow factor in the meeting. So that's another good project for us. Innovative marketing strategies. Like I said, we can't outspend our competitors. Pay-per-click's working fairly well for us right now. We're getting into some bigger companies just because we're getting better exposure on the web. But the traditional cold calling doesn't seem to work. The traditional email blasts and stuff like that, buying lists and all that. We know we have a lot of marketing people here, but that doesn't seem to really work for us. So I'm looking for different ways to get a hold of people and get in front of them. We've hired consultants and tried to do different different things traditionally, and it just doesn't seem to work for us. Either we don't have the budget for it, or it's a different animal altogether. So that's basically what we're finding. And thank you for listening. We did bring some sample parts over there. I'd be happy to talk to anybody about the different processes and how it works. I have some samples back there. The 1 Million Cups logo, those are obviously open for anybody. And thank you very much for listening.